you ever looked at your life and thought, why do I still feel disconnected, even when things look okay on the surface? I think a lot of people today are quietly carrying that feeling. They're functioning, working, achieving, posting, smiling, but underneath all of that, something feels off. Not because they're broken, but because somewhere along the way, they lost connection with themselves. Welcome to Beyond the Script, conversations on healing, consciousness, and the human experience. I'm your host, Ali Christos, and this podcast was created for people who feel there has to be something deeper beneath the surface of modern life. Not just success, not just productivity, not just surviving, but understanding who we are beneath the conditioning, beneath the fear, beneath the roles we learned to play. For most of my life, I lived very externally. I spent over 15 years in New York real estate, constantly around ambition, pressure, achievement, and performance. And while I learned a lot during that time, especially about people, mindset, and human behavior, I also started noticing something deeper. A lot of people weren't actually living from themselves, they were living from programming, from survival, from expectations, from identities they learned to perform. And honestly, I was too. Even when life looked successful externally, internally, there were still moments of anxiety, overthinking, emptiness, and disconnection. And I think many people experience this silently. I think one of the biggest problems today is that people are constantly stimulated but rarely connected. Connected to their body, their emotions, their intuition, their inner truth, their nervous system, their actual needs. We live in a world that rewards performance. So people become who they think they need to become to receive love, approval, safety, or validation. And over time, they slowly drift further away from themselves. That disconnection can show up as anxiety, burnout, numbness, people pleasing, overthinking, relationship struggles, lack of purpose, constant distraction, or even success that somehow still feels empty. One of the deepest things I've learned through hypnosis work, meditation, and working with people is this: most people are not consciously choosing many of their behaviors. Their subconscious patterns are patterns built through childhood, emotional pain, fear, conditioning, trauma, relationships, culture, and survival. People think this is just who I am, but often it's who they adapted into becoming. And there's a difference. I don't believe healing is about becoming someone new. I think healing is often about removing the layers that disconnected you from yourself in the first place. It's remembering how to feel again, how to trust yourself again, how to slow down, how to become emotionally honest, how to stop performing strength all of the time. Because many people are exhausted from holding identities that no longer feel true. I created Beyond the Script because I wanted a space for deeper conversations, not surface level self help, not performance spirituality, not pretending everything is perfect, but honest conversations about healing, awakening, identity, anxiety, relationships, subconscious patterns, human emotion, consciousness, and what it actually means to reconnect with yourself. Some episodes will be solo reflections like this. Others will be conversations with guests from psychology, healing, wellness, spirituality, and personal transformation. But the goal will always be the same: to help people feel less alone and maybe understand themselves a little more deeply. If you've been feeling disconnected lately, maybe it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. Maybe it means a deeper part of you is asking to be heard. If this episode resonated with you, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed, left a review, or shared this with someone who may need it. And if you want to follow the journey, you can find me on Instagram at Beyond the Script Show. Thank you for being here, and welcome to Beyond the Script.